Good morning students. How are you all? Great. I'm Khushbu Patel from Saraswati Group of Education and today I'm conducting this session for the computer subject. Now, I hope kids you have remembered that what we have done in the last session. We have completed the primary memory. As you all know that we have started with lesson number 2 which is related to the memory and storage devices of computer. So, about RAM and ROM we have completed including watching the ActiveApp video. So now today we are conducting this session for the further topic. So before I start the topic, what you should have? Your textbook and a pencil. So in your textbook, please open page number 17, right? And in that page, we are going to start with our today's topic. What is our today's topic? That is secondary memory, right? We know that what is the meaning of a memory. The way we can remember the things, same way we can also store certain things in a computer so that computer can also remember that thing. We have studied about primary memory. We know that primary memory is a type of a memory which cannot be stored. It is not actually easily accessible to the CPU, right? But secondary memory is such which is a permanent memory. What do you mean by permanent memory? If I say that I want to make one report, I have made that report using the different software of a computer, but half the report will be filled after 2-3 months. So whatever the report I have prepared right now, I want to save that much work in a computer for later use. Can I do that? Yes. If I will store that information, if I will store that report in a computer, I can open that report anytime, anywhere when I want to open. But how? Which type of the memory is allowing us to store our data permanently? The name of that memory is secondary memory. Suppose you have captured the photograph in your mobile. Now your mobile memory is full. Now you cannot take more pictures using that mobile. What will happen? You will transfer that photograph into a desktop or laptop. That means you are cleaning the memory of your mobile by transferring the data from that mobile to computer. So in a computer also what will happen? You have transferred that data and that data has been stored inside it. It is not like that. You have transferred, you have switched off computer and the data is totally lost. No. The data will be stored in a computer for longer time. In case if you are not deleting, then it will be there in a computer for lifetime. Which type of a memory allow us to do that? The name of that memory is secondary memory. So about that secondary memory and the comparison of a primary and secondary memory, we have to study. So I hope you have opened page number 17. Now see on that page. The secondary memory is also called auxiliary memory, external memory or backup memory. These are the 3 different names of a secondary memory. But one thing you need to remember is that secondary memory stores our data permanently. It stores our data permanently, right? And because of this only, secondary memory has a different name, that is auxiliary memory, permanent memory or backup memory. Why it is called as permanent memory? Because it is storing the data permanently. Why it is called as a backup memory? Because whenever we want to retrieve that data, whenever we want to open that data, we can open it very easily. So it is known as backup memory. Right? See, a computer's primary memory, especially RAM, that is random access memory, if you will see, it is written in the bracket, has a limited storage capacity and stores data temporarily. Right? Primary memory, especially RAM, is storing data but not permanent, only for temporary basis. That means you are working, your computer's switch is on, and as and when you will switch off your computer, the data which is stored in a RAM will be lost. So it is considered as the temporary memory. Right? But in order to store data permanently, we need to use secondary memory or secondary storage devices. Right? If we want to store our important files, our important documents, important photographs or reports or many more data permanently in our computer, we can store it by using secondary memory. Right? There are certain secondary storage devices also in which we can store our data for lifetime. Some of the storage devices are given here. So one by one we are going to start with that. What is the first one? See, but before that, there is some more information related to the storage devices. See, secondary storage devices are used for bulk storage of programs. Bulk storage means we can store data in large amount. Bulk means bahut vadhare. We can store our data, right, in a large amount. Data and other information, they have much larger capacity than primary memory and they are non-volatile. Non-volatile means it is stored permanently. Whenever we want to use it, we can use it. Right? So, secondary storage devices are such type of devices which allow us to store the data in a more amount and we can retrieve it very easily. Retrieve karna matlab वापस से खोलना. Right? We can take that information again back from the computer by using the secondary storage devices. Why? Because they are non-volatile memory. Moving further to the storage devices. In your textbook there are some storage devices given. So one by one we will see. But for that, first let me rub this so you can understand it properly, whatever the things I am writing over here. See, let us now discuss some of the secondary storage devices. The first one is hard disk. What is the first secondary storage devices of computer? That is hard disk. Right, here you can also see in the picture that hard disk is how it is looking. Let me tell you kids that hard disk is a one inbuilt storage device in a computer. Right? When you open a computer, C drive, D drive, something is written that this much storage capacity is available, this many GB. So what is that? It is the distribution of a hard disk. That means hard disk, in which slot you can store how much data. Right? So the first storage device is nothing but it is hard disk. Here also you can see in the picture as well as in your textbook also. Now see, our hard disk is the main secondary storage device. It is the main one and it is inbuilt. When you purchase a computer, inside the CPU, hard disk is always there. We don't need to purchase it individually. It is inbuilt. It is present inside the CPU box. Now, you know what is the meaning of CPU. So, hard disk is present inside the CPU. It can store a large amount of data according to the size of a hard disk. That means it is GB or TB, right? We have seen the memory units. So, we can say that according to the size of a hard disk, it allows us to store the data. The way you are storing the data, it will show you in the form of a line that this much space is used and this much space is unused. Right? See. All the work done on a computer can be stored on a hard disk. Whatever the work we are performing using computer, whatever the data, whatever the information, whatever the programs or whatever the reports we are making, we can store in a computer very easily, but it will be stored on what? It will be stored inside the hard disk, right? This data can be retrieved whenever required. Whenever you want to open that, after 1 year, 2 year or maybe after that also, if you remember that where have you stored it, you can take out that very easily. Whenever you want to retrieve that data, retrieve means to open it again and to take that information again. So that can be done just because it is stored permanently inside the computer. So that was our first storage device, which is totally inbuilt. Moving further to the second one, that is CD. You can see here that I have written both the letters in a capital. That means it is a short form of something. CD means compact disc. Right? Compact disc. You may have seen that CD. Maybe of a song, maybe of a game. Right? Here also in a picture you can see that. So, see here. A CD or compact disc, underline that, is a circular in a shape and can store approximately 700 MB. 700 MB. MB means megabyte. Right? 700 MB of data. Right? So all the CDs are having its own capacity of storing the data. But in normal CD, maximum we can store 700 MB of data. Now, when you talk about the computer storage device, you can see that CD are available, but it is of two types. Which one? See, the first one is CDR. CDR. That means you are purchasing a blank CD from the market and you are storing certain information from your computer to that CD. Once you have recorded that CD, other time you cannot use that CD for recording other thing or transferring some other thing. Right? That means it is one time use. So that type of a CD is known as CDR. See here, it is called recordable CD. We know the meaning of a CD, but R stands for recordable. Right? See, data once recorded on it cannot be removed. Right? Once you have recorded the data, once you have transferred the data from your computer to that CD, then you cannot erase that data from the CD. So that CD is known as CDR. There is one more type of CD which is CDRW. Now R we know, W is a new thing for us. See, what is that? It is called rewritable CD. That means once you have written something on the CD, not with a ball pen, but you have transferred some data from computer to CD, right? Then again you can use that CD for storing some more information or a new data. That means once the data has been transferred, that data can be erased and can be replaced by new data. So that type of a CD can be used many a times, right? So that CD is known as CDRW, right? See here, it is called rewritable CD. Data written on the CDRW can be erased and new data can be stored on it, right? We can erase it and we can reuse that CD. So the major difference between these two, that CDR, once the recorded data is there in the CD, it cannot be erased, while in CDRW, data can be erased and we can use that CD again for recording the new data. Clear till here? Okay. So kids, now we are moving to the third storage device, which is DVD. Right? You can see here, these three letters also I have written in a capital letter. That means it is also a short form of something. What is that? See, a DVD or digital versatile disc. That is the full form of DVD. Digital versatile disc. Right? You have to underline it. Look like a CD. Right? There is no difference in looking at the CD or DVD. But what is the major difference in a CD and DVD? Storage capacity. See here. But it can store approximately 4.7 GB data. 4.7 GB. Now MB, that is megabyte, is a smaller unit, where gigabyte or GB is a bigger unit. That means in a CD we can store less amount of data, where in DVD we can store more amount of data. Right? So in DVD we can store approximately 4.7 gigabyte or GB data. Right? See, a DVD can be used to store movies, games and other audio or video files. The way we are taking the help of a CD to transfer the data from one computer to another, same way we can utilize the DVD. We can store movies, we can store games, photos and many more files. Right? Because it is giving us more space. How much? 4.7 GB. Clear? Here also in the picture you can see that DVD. So that was about DVD. Now turn the page. We are moving to the next one, that is pen drive. What is the fourth storage device? That is pen drive. You may have seen the pen drive. Let me show you. See, this is the pen drive. Right? It's of 32 GB. That means almost 28-29 GB data you can store in this small USB. Right? It's a very small device. You can carry anywhere and you can attach this to the computer and can transfer. And you can also store data in it. This is what? It is pen drive. Right? See. A pen drive is a storage device which is small in size and can be easily carried in a pocket or a keychain. Right, you can see it's a very light in a weight, and what is the size? You can see it's a very small size. So you can carry this very easily. It's very easy to handle and it is very easy to carry. Right? It is used to store and transfer data from one computer to another computer. Suppose your friend is having a one game in his computer which is too good, and you want that game, that can be transferred to your computer using this small device. Very small, very easy to transfer. Right? So it is helping in many ways. See, it is connected to the USB port. Right? There is a one port in a computer or in a laptop which is known as a USB port, where you can attach this pen drive. That port is known as what? USB. See in your textbook. It is also having some full form, that is Universal Serial Bus, where you can attach this pen drive and you can transfer the data easily. Right? See, it is connected to the USB, a part of a computer, hence it is also called USB drive. This instrument or this device is having many names: pen drive, flash drive, and just because we are attaching it with the USB port of a computer. This one is also known as USB drive, right? So that was about the pen drive. Now we are moving to the last storage device, that is memory card. Right, memory card you may have seen in your mobile also, where you are storing your photographs, your important documents, your songs and many more things. Right, so memory card are vary in a size. They are of different size. I have one right now. I am just showing you. This is the memory card. Right, this is the memory card of a 4 GB. Which you can attach with your digital camera as well as your computer port also. So here you can store, you can see it's a very small chip, right? And you can store many photographs and many video files in it. And it is also very light in a weight and it is easy to carry. So you can have a look of it. It's a memory card, right? See now in your textbook. A memory card is small in a size but can store photos, audio, video and data file, right? The last two storage device which we have seen, that is a pen drive and a memory card, very small in a size. Let me show it together. You can see that this is a memory card, this is a pen drive. Both are very small in a size and very light in a weight, but we can store many things in it. Audio files, that means songs, video files, that means videos, photos and many information, right? See, it is used in various electronic devices like mobile phones, right? Right now in a smartphone, all the smartphone we are using a very small memory card, right? Just try to see at your home, but with your parents' permission. Don't open it like a mechanical engineer. We don't want to be that. Okay? Fine. So it can be used in various electronic devices like mobile phones, digital cameras, MP3 players, gaming consoles and many other portable devices. We can attach this memory card to many of the gadgets and we can utilize the things, right? So these were the storage devices of a computer. Different storage devices we have seen. Now we are moving to the last portion of this chapter. That is the comparison of a primary and secondary memory. Very easy because we have understood the entire chapter. Right? Now see, primary memory has limited temporary storage capacity. We have understood in a RAM and ROM that they are considered as a primary memory and they store the data but on a temporary basis. While in a secondary memory, which we have covered today only, it is known as a permanent memory, right? Because it is storing the data for lifetime, right? Until and unless you are deleting it. Secondary memory has huge permanent storage capacity as compared to primary memory. It has a huge storage capacity, right? The hard disk we have seen, CD, pen drive, memory card and many more things. So they can store the data permanently, and that is why primary memory is considered as a temporary memory while the secondary memory is considered as the permanent memory, right? See, primary memory is directly accessible to the CPU. That means the time when you are switching on the computer till the time you switch off the computer, your data will be there. Then it will be lost. As and when you will switch on, it is there. As and when you will switch off, the data is totally lost. So it is volatile memory, right? Now see, secondary memory is not directly accessible to the CPU, right? When you switch on the computer, your data directly will not flash on the screen of a computer, right? We have to open it. So we can say that it is not directly accessible to the CPU. The two parts of primary memory have a changing nature. RAM is a volatile memory where ROM is a non-volatile memory. Some memory can be stored in the primary section and some memory cannot be stored. So RAM and ROM are having different nature. One is a volatile where the other one is a non-volatile. About volatile and non-volatile we have studied. Secondary memory is always non-volatile in a nature. That means it stores the data for permanent basis. Right? So it is known as non-volatile memory. Clear? The primary memory devices, which is RAM and ROM, are usually affixed on the motherboard inside the computer system. Affixed means it is fixed in the motherboard. RAM and ROM are fixed in the motherboard of a computer. Right? The secondary memory devices may be present inside or outside the computer system. When you talk about the secondary memory, hard disk is stored inside the CPU. But pen drive, CD, DVD or memory card, they are not there inside the CPU. We have to attach it from the outside. Right? So secondary memory can be inside or can be outside the CPU. So this was the comparison of the primary and secondary memory. I hope students you have understood till here. This was the last session of our chapter. Here the chapter is over. With this session you are going to get one worksheet which you can print out or you can directly write in your classroom. Only answer you can write. Okay. So today I am ending my session over here. We are going to meet in the next session. But before I complete it, I just want to say one thing. Whatever the topic we have covered today, read it from your textbook and for any query, go through this video again. We'll meet next time with a new chapter. Right? Till that time, I am taking your leave. Bye bye.